In the early 800s AD, a group of humble monks living on a tiny island just off the coast of Scotland created an illustrated book. This book has become one of the world's greatest works of sacred art. It is known today as the Book of Kells. One of our great tasks in life is to find out what makes our life worth living. For these anonymous monks, it was their faith and service to a loving God who had sent his only Son, Jesus, to earth to teach, heal, love, and to die on the cross as a payment for the sins of humankind. Those who believe, confess, and follow are forgiven their sins and reconciled with God for all eternity. This was the message the monks believed and wanted passed on. I began this project after watching a fascinating documentary on the Book of Kells. I was enamored and inspired by the DVD and the incredible artwork they presented. The art from the Book of Kells reminds me more of folk art rather than work from a great Renaissance painter. For instance, you wouldn't look at the picture of Mary with baby Jesus and say, "Wow, isn't she beautiful?" That skill wasn't there yet. They did have great skill in drawing lines, curves, and designs, using color, and of telling stories with pictures and pictures within pictures. Like many viewers, I was fascinated by the Chi-Rho Page. It is called that because of 3 Greek letters within the painting. This big letter, which looks like the letter P with the front part missing, is actually a large X. In Greek, the X is pronounced Chi. Here is a P with a sideways head, and that P is pronounced Rho, hence the title Chi-Rho. Finally, there is another letter, an I, which is pronounced Iota. In Greek, these 3 letters are an abbreviation of the word Christos, or in English, the Christ. Christ means Messiah, Anointed One, or King, and was foretold by prophets and wise men in the scriptures of the Old Testament. The Book of Kells contains the New Testament Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, handwritten in Latin. Each Gospel tells the story of Jesus from a unique perspective. Being 12 centuries old, the book has plenty of wear, discoloration, and fading. Some images are completely worn away. I wondered if I could restore the Chi-Rho page. It didn't take long for me to figure out that the answer was no. My next thought was that perhaps it could be colored with the faded parts brought out. This idea had potential. What I thought would take a few weeks happily took almost 6 months and 500 hours. It was a priceless experience. My basic technique was to first add background color, and then I would add foreground color. When I wasn't sure, I'd add as much background color as possible and let the remaining shapes guide me. Here I saw a turtle. Though some designs were similar to each other, I tried to make each one look unique. The wear patterns suggested images like In the fall, leaves begin to lose their original colors. This, of course, produces a very beautiful and colorful foliage. And like the turn colors in fall leaves, I used the turn colors in the Chi-Rho along with the original colors. I was thinking about black holes when I drew this. Like God, there are things in life that are just very difficult to fathom. Though unplanned, I did bend some of the rules. For example, I added women.